So I've been in this shop for the better part of 2 years now, and as much as I want to get into a proper shop, well, right now the real estate market is just kind of going a little bit crazy, but hopefully, I hate to say this, but hopefully that will change sometime in the near future, which will make it a little bit more affordable for me to get into a shop. But anyway, that's kind of a whole nother conversation, probably not for this channel. But because I've been in here for so long, we've made a fair amount of content, we've built some cool trucks. I actually need your help with my spring cleaning. I have a bunch of parts that I need to get rid of. Some stuff is going to be for sale. Some stuff I'm willing just to kind of give away. So if you have a GMT 800 Chevy truck, 99 to 07, I have a lot of parts specific to those body style of pickups. Some stuff is kind of universal. We got a few speed parts. We got a few, replacement type things. So basically, if you want a good deal, pay attention because I'm just trying to get rid of this stuff. Yeah. So anyway, I do live near American Fork, Utah. So if you want to stop by, send me an email. The address is tolmanperformance@gmail.com. If you see anything here that might strike your fancy. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Let's talk about parts. First, we have a 4L80 torque converter. This is a stock converter. I don't know anything about it other than it's brand new. Never been used. It came out of that transmission, which I just didn't rebuild, but just went through. So anyway, I have a better converter. That's the stock one. I don't think it's worth much, like 50 bucks. 2 speakers, 6x9s in boxes. The speakers are pretty much brand new, as are the boxes. Like 25 bucks for the pair. And I was gonna also mention, like on shipping, a lot of this stuff, I'd prefer to do local pickup. But if you really wanted me to ship some of this stuff, if it's small enough to be put in a box, I probably could. Obviously, you guys will pay the shipping, and the prices that I'm going to kind of tell you will be not including the shipping. But anyway, let's continue on. This one is kind of cool. It's a cold air intake setup for a 99 to 07 Chevy truck. And I actually tried to sell this once, but I messed up because I realized this will only work on a truck that has electric fans. Even if you have converted like a 99 or a 2000 to electric fans, it'll work for you. Or if you have an 05, 6, or 7, it'll also work with those that came factory with electric fans. Anyway, it's an AIRAID. This is actually K&N filter, but I'm just throwing this in. It's the AIRAID intake tube. This kind of just replaces the part that goes from your factory airbox to the engine. So you do need to use your stock airbox, your stock mass airflow sensor, but this is just the tube itself, and it flows a little bit better than stock. And like I said, it's brand new. It's been on the truck for maybe like, I think I had this on the truck for a couple 100 miles, if that. We got both clamps and boots on both ends. And then this air filter, this is a K&N filter, but this was only in there for probably like 100 miles or less. I still have a little sticker for the carb exemption thing, so it's like 50 state legal. That's kind of cool, and the little decal. Anyway, K&N filter, AIRAID tube, probably, I think brand new, the tube was like 150 or 160 bucks. I'd sell the whole thing, filter included, for like 100. Over here we have a 4L60, or technically I believe this is a 4L65 four-wheel drive transmission. Now from the outside, there's really no easy way to tell the difference between the two. They all have the same exact case. This one came from a 2001 GMC Yukon Denali. It's the vehicle that I got the NV 149 transfer case out of for the all-wheel drive truck. And I wanted a second transmission just because I was planning on rebuilding it and then sticking with the 4L60 platform. But as you just saw, the 4L80, I'm kind of gone a different direction. So anyway, I do have one 4L65, I believe. I can't guarantee that I haven't been inside. The only difference between the 60 and the 65, I believe the 65 has a 5-pinion rear planet and maybe a hardened shell. But anyhow, I have no idea on the condition or the miles. I suspect it possibly has been rebuilt because number one, it's been painted, like not an amazing paint job, but it has been painted, and it does have a different torque converter in it because normally they're just like bare metal, not painted up blue like that. So once again, no idea on miles or condition. Come pick it up, 150 bucks. I think that wraps up all the parts that I have upstairs. I got a storage space I'm gonna go down to real quick, and we have a whole bunch more goodies down there. So GMT 800 guys, pay attention. Now, one of the reasons why I'm trying to get this stuff cleaned out is just because I don't want to end up like hoarding all this stuff where I'm probably never going to end up using it. It's just going to collect dust, and I hate when I, move somewhere and I pick up and clean all this stuff that I saved thinking I'm going to use it, but then I end up never using it. So yeah, help me with my spring cleaning. I think the first thing down here, we get a pair of leather seats from my, well, not from, I pulled these out of the same donor that you just saw the 4L65 came from the Yukon Denali. So they have the two-tone leather, kind of that tan/gray. They're in pretty decent shape. The driver's side seat is not, like, it's definitely not perfect, but it's not all tore up. I would run these. I just don't, personally, I don't like the leather because it's kind of slippery. I prefer the cloth seats myself, but these have the power adjustment down on the side. These were heated seats, actually. They have the airbag in the side if your truck has airbags, and they have like the multi-adjustable headrest with the seat belts. So $100 for the pair if I could get that. I got a few other odds and ends. I'm not sure if if you're really interested in a console, like, let me know. I don't really want to sell it, but I suppose I could. First free item of the day, or two different items. We have two, not a set of four, but two 16-inch Dodge 2nd gen wheels. These were on the Suburban when I bought it, and I replaced them with the PYO 16-inch aluminum wheels. So they're 8 by 6.5. It's a 16-inch wheel. I don't know the width, probably 6.5 or 7, somewhere in there. They're very, very heavy. They're steel wheels. They're for free. Just come get them if you want them. And then also I have a spare tire from my step side truck. I don't run the spare tire because I changed my exhaust and a bunch of other stuff. Just on the regular old steel wheel. It looks like it's brand new, never been run, but of course it is 20 years old. Free if you want it. I do have, I guess I hadn't planned on selling these, but might as well. Airbag if you want it for a GMT 800 Chevy truck. I got 3 instrument clusters. I have 2 of this kind. Let me see which one. Okay, made notes on it. This one's from the ugly truck. It'll display 329,000 miles. And this one I'd sell, or tell you what, I'd give this one away simply because if I remember right, the little digital display down there, it kind of cuts out some of the time, but everything else works, all the gauges and stuff like that. I have another one just like this, same exact, Silverado half-ton cluster with no trans temp. These fit 99 to 02s. That one I'll sell for $50. It's got 180, let me think, I'm kind of meticulous, so of course I labeled everything. 186,684 miles on it, and everything worked on this one. And I guess the only other difference worth noting is I swapped out the faceplates for these. This one has the tan faceplate from the Denali, where this one has the stock black faceplate, and I swapped these because I wanted the 120 mile an hour cluster with the darker faceplate for the step side. So 2 clusters. Did I say a price? $50 maybe? I don't know. And then finally one more cluster. This is from a GMT 400 truck. It is, I forgot I was going to talk about these. So this is from a Escalade or Denali 99 or 2000, like the GMT 400 body style. Has a 120 mile an hour speedometer. It's in decent shape. How about like $40 for that one if you want it? Let's see. So that's a dash piece. 3 clusters. We talked about the free wheels and free spare tire. This roll pan is from or 4 rather. It's brand new, never been installed. It's just still in the E-coat. This is from a GMT 900 truck. So 2008 to 14, I think they made those. Let's see, what am I going to ask for that? I don't know, $80. Brand new, never been installed. I bought that way back in Tennessee, and I moved it cross country, and it's been sitting in my basement ever since, so I want to get rid of it. This is a lower bumper valance from a 99 to 02. It'll fit, half-ton Silverados or even the 2500 Silverados because it's all the same. The difference is just the top cap on the bumper. It does have the cutouts for the tow hooks and cutouts for the fog lights. You can have that for free if you just want to come grab it. Let's see, torque converter. That's a GM88 Recon or a, Recon, I believe. TransStar, I think, is the same brand, but That was in the ugly truck. It works great. It just wasn't a high enough stall speed. I'd give like 40 bucks for that maybe. And once again, I'm not gonna ship that. It's kind of heavy. Couple of exhausts. Let's see. This one is free. This is a MagnaFlow. It was on the Suburban when I bought it. Nothing wrong with it. It's just a little bit rusty on the surface, but as you can tell, it's still fairly solid. It has 3-inch inlets or outlets. These are reversible, I think, and 3-inch on the opposite side as well. This one I'll take $40 for. It's a FLOWMASTER HUSHPOWER Pro Series, I think. They call it laminar flow. 4-inch in and out. And it has a hanger welded on it that'll fit in the stock location on a GMT 800 Chevy truck. I really, really love the sound that it makes, but it's just too loud for me. I never ran it with catalytic converter, so that might help a little bit if you wanted to. But anyway, it's a great muffler. It has hardly any miles on it. Come grab it if you want it. These two are actually brand new. I literally pulled it out of the box. I slid it over the exhaust pipe and started the truck up and took them back off. They're Spintech Pro Street 9000 mufflers. They have a 3-inch inlet offset and a 3-inch center outlet. I do have 2 of them, one on top, one on bottom. I think I paid, I don't remember, they're like 100 or 125 bucks a piece. I'll take $100 for the pair. Like I said, brand new mufflers, never been welded, never been installed. I just had them on the truck for like 10 seconds of running. Over here we get some drivetrain parts. These are from the step side Silverado, and as you just saw in the cluster, 186,000 miles on both of these parts. We have a GM 8 1/4 IFS front differential with 373 gears, and this one will fit 99 to 07 trucks. It works great. I just, I went to all-wheel drive, so I didn't need it. Same thing with the transfer case. This is an NP246, I believe, the auto track case. It does have a little bit of like oil and stuff on it from leaking, but as far as I know, both of these worked perfectly. I did use 4-wheel drive only once when I owned this truck because the little button on the dashboard did not work properly. But I did use 4-wheel drive to load it on the trailer the first time when I first bought the truck rather. So they do work as far as I know. They have 186,000 miles on them. $100 each, or if you want the pair of them, $150. That sounds, I don't know, fair to me, I think. 2 rear drop shackles. These are from a Silverado 1500. Once again, I bought them new. I think they're Amazon parts. I only ran them for a couple 100 miles before I changed the suspension. 10 bucks. Then we have, I think I'm going to hang on to this. That's another NP246. 2 rear shocks. I'll give those away. They're Bilsteins. They'll fit a Silverado 1500 on the back. 2 running boards. These are for free also. They'll fit they're from a 99 Suburban, and I believe they'll fit a 4-door GMT 400 Chevy truck as well, but I think the only difference is the brackets came like riveted on some of those crew cabs and maybe not on others, so you do need the factory brackets that are welded or riveted to the body of the truck. But I do have the brackets that are on the running boards themselves, and I saved all the nuts and bolts that are used to attach it to the truck. We have a cross member here. This is a stock modified cross member that lets you put a 4L80 in a 2-wheel drive. It was on my 2000 Silverado. I did replace it with one of those eBay tubular ones. You can have that for like 20 bucks if you want it. Rear sway bar from the same Denali that the seats and the transmission in my all-wheel drive transfer case came from. 20 bucks for that. It does have the end links and the little bushing is on there. No bushing brackets. What else? Oh, these are drop hangers, I believe, for an OBS, an 88 to 98 Chevy truck. This is going to be a $20 gamble on your part. I can't verify that that's what they're intended for, but I did buy them from Calvert. They're intended to be used with Caltrax, but I have a later model truck in 99, and it was probably my fault. I put in the wrong part number maybe. So they don't bolt onto a GMT 800 Chevy truck, but I think they'll bolt onto a GMT 400. So take a $20 gamble. Maybe they'll work with your truck. They're like a 4-inch drop hanger if you use them with the drop shackle. So maybe I should probably pair those together. Drop shackles and hangers for the hangers will fit a OBS Chevy truck. I think that's kind of like, an intake manifold. I didn't mention that. And I have a cover. So you can kind of take this whole package right here. Drive-by cable throttle body. intake manifold with 8.1 24-pound-hour injectors, so they're a little bigger than the 19-pounders. They do have the same exact plug, which you can't see probably, but they plug right into the stock Multec truck injector harness. It's got the little purge valve on there, and I'll throw the mass air meter in. How about like $50 for the whole shebang if you want it. That, I think, then will wrap up. I'm just kind of, oh, I don't know if I mentioned this one or not. Receiver hitch, free for a 99 to 07. I just won't fit on my truck because it's too low anyway. Yeah, if there's something else you guys have seen in the background, let me know. Oh, and one more thing, kind of worth mentioning. If you have a Cummins, a 12-valve P-pump truck, I do have some good hot rod parts you may be interested in, a lot of fasteners. I have a lot of fuel parts. I do have a P-pump, big injectors, and a few other odds and ends. So send me a message directly if you have a Cummins and if you're interested in that stuff. I have to dig it out. It's not ready right now to show you, but that's what we have. I know this video is probably not as exciting as what you wanted to see, but let me show you real quick what we are going to be doing next. Now, next time you guys see this truck, which should be in the very next upload, we're going to be installing some parts that I've had for the front suspension for probably the better part of like 3 or 4 months now. You guys saw me do the Atomic Fab rear Viking shock relocation kit, but I also ordered a front coilover kit for the 4-wheel drive trucks. It's obviously all-wheel drive now, but the suspension will work in exactly the same way. So this is the kit. It's from Atomic Fabrication and Performance, and you'll see me install this next time. But basically, we've got ourselves a coilover shock assembly that matches the Vikings that we have in the rear. Atomic, he built some of these lower brackets that work with the stock style lower control arms. We also have the upper brackets to reinforce the frame mounting position. He's got all the little spacers and brackets and doohickeys that we need to get those on there. So I can't wait to do that because it should improve the ride quality, especially considering we have stock, high mileage, and probably worn out shocks and the rest of the components on the front end. Also from Atomic, I picked up one of his heavy-duty tensioner brackets, so I can't wait to get this on. It uses, I think this is a Cummins-style 8-rib tensioner, but it's definitely going to put more spring pressure on to the belt. But I have been having some belt slip issues ever since I went with a 245 upper pulley. The stock tensioner just doesn't have a whole lot of leverage on it, so I think that'll allow me to reposition or clock ever so slightly. The new tensioner just a little bit better position to get slightly better belt wrap on the balancer, but also, you know, more pressure or tension on the belt, which will help. So stay tuned. We'll take care of that stuff next time. I do want to say thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. I know this was probably not as exciting as some of the usual uploads that we do working here in the shop, but you got to take some time to clean up every now and again. And if you guys saw anything that you'd like to buy, or if you just want to take it for free, you saw all that earlier in the video, send me an email, tolmanperformance@gmail.com. Remember, I'm near American Fork, Utah, so we'll get all the information that we need from you and we'll make it happen. So thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Stop back soon for the coilover install.